Hello and welcome to the Online Course Creator Show. I'm your host, Lou Blakely, and this is the podcast to listen to for all the tips and strategies around creating and selling an online course successfully online. Today, I am talking about a topic that I don't think I have ever spoken about on the podcast before, and it is episode 90, which means that I am 10 episodes away from the big 100, which to me has always been a huge goal for me with this podcast to get to 100 episodes, and I'm getting close, so that is super exciting. So today's episode is all about your niche, or if you're in America, I think you guys say it niche. So however you say it, I'm going to say it niche because that's how we say it down here in New Zealand and Australia. But just know that's what I'm talking about. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like this topic is actually talked about way too much, to be honest. I see in other programs and programs that I have been in the past over a very long time online now, I have seen so many people get really hung up on their niche and not knowing the niche and wondering, should I target this audience or should I target that audience, and really deliberating on this for way too long. And I think that you can actually make this decision based on 3 key questions, which I'm going to be sharing with you today. And even you are going to be mind blown at how simple this is. Now, I also truly believe, based on what I've seen, that when you are getting hung up on your niche, not sure who to target with your product, not sure who you know what audience to build, I actually think this is mindset related just as much as it is not knowing which way to move forward and feeling stuck. Because at the end of the day, you have to make a decision, but as long as you don't make a decision on this, then you get to stay where you are in the safety and security of where you are right now. And even if that place is uncomfortable, sometimes actually stepping outside of our comfort zone or making a decision, drawing a line in the sand and actually going for something is actually scarier than staying where we are, even if where we are is not where we want to be. So if you're one of these people who you've been thinking about this for a long time and you're still pondering it, then I'm going to encourage you to ask these 3 key questions and just move on, because really, you need to start taking action, and it's when you start taking the action where you are going to get the most clarity. And what you decide as a decision in the first place, it's not set in stone. You're not dedicated to this for the rest of your life. So as you may know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I used to have a marketing agency. First online course was in search engine optimization. I do not do that anymore, okay? And that is because that niche didn't really light me up that much anymore, even though it worked. That's just goes to show that you can change it. Whatever you pick, it's not set in stone. I completely changed my niche from that to online courses. And yes, it's still in the realm of digital marketing, but it is a completely different topic. You need to pick something, move forward with it, take action, and over time you're going to get clarity. And you can actually have very good results and be successful like I was with my search engine optimization online course, but you can still change if you need to down the line. So it's not like you're getting married to your niche or anything like that. All of this to say, do not get stuck on this, and moving forward is the most important thing all of the time. Okay, so what is a niche or a niche? So the definition is that it's a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. So in the case of developing digital products, online courses, mini courses, group coaching programs, like you need to know who the specialized segment of the market is so that you can A, solve their problem, but B, also know who to talk to in your marketing and who to attract. Also, having a niche actually helps you deliver the program because it's for a specific type of person rather than trying to cater to everyone. And you need to know who your niche is in order to get really clear and know your ideal customer. so that you're able to create a product that they really want, that you're able to talk to them online and them be attracted to what you're saying, that they know that you understand them. Now, obviously, this ties in with the skills that you have, but you could go and pick a variety of niches, okay? So, like everyone has a choice in terms of niche. So, for me, I work specifically with people who are currently service providers who are moving into a more scalable, leveraged business model by taking what they know and turning it into a product. Now, I could also target 9-to-5ers who are looking to leave their job and create an online course. That would be a different niche to what I'm doing now. And I can still help people in that niche, but I'm not talking to them at all in my marketing. Okay, so I've made a decision based on my previous experience because that used to be me. I completely understand that service provider who has built a successful business, who is time poor, burnt out. That used to be me. So I picked that niche because I understand what it's like to be that person. Now, when it comes to niching down, you can choose a wide niche or a narrow niche. And when you serve a narrow niche, you can actually go a lot deeper with that niche. You don't want it to be so narrow that there's nobody in it, but you definitely have to have a specific group of people that you're talking to. I do recommend, if you're just getting started with online courses and you have a small audience, that targeting a narrow niche is actually going to help you move faster because you can be very, very specific in who you're talking to, which means their connection with you is going to be so much stronger. So let's dive into the 3 key questions. And honestly, I think you're going to be shocked at how simple these are. And as I mentioned before, I think that the whole niche thing is way too complicated and we just need to make it simple. So the 3 key questions are, do I like to work with them? So once you pick a group of people, do I like to work with them? Is it actually going to make me happy to help these people? Is it going to bring me joy? Am I going to feel fulfilled and rewarded? Obviously, this is important. We don't want to be working with a group of people that we can't stand. So if we don't like working with them, they're not our niche. End of story. So we need to like these people. The second key question is, can I help them? And by that, I mean, can you deliver a result? Have you delivered a result for this person in the past? Even if it's in a different format, it could have been a friend, it could have been someone you work with, it could have been a client in a done-for-you situation, it could have been someone you have coached. Whatever it is, it's a process and a transformation that you know that you are actually able to deliver on for this person. So that is absolutely essential. So can you help them? Are you able to get them the result? If you know that you can't get them the result, then I would actually look at changing niches to a result that you know that you can deliver. Now, then the last question, I told you this was simple, so simple. So the last question is, can they pay me? This is obviously really, really important if you're in business, because you are in business to make money. And same with an online course. When you're creating a signature program or any kind of digital product, you need to make sure that the audience you're speaking to have the funds to pay the amount that you're asking. Okay, so can they pay you? Are they willing to pay you? So sometimes we can be targeting niches like small children and that kind of thing, or teenagers. A lot of career coaches are talking to teenagers who are still at high school and they don't have an income and they rely on their parents. So in that instance, you actually need to be marketing to the parents because they're the ones that are actually able to afford to pay you. Another example of a market that would not be good to target could be, and I'm just saying this as an example, right? But if you were going to target women who had just left domestic violent relationships, they would not be a good target market if you are looking to make money. And I have been one of these women myself. And I know firsthand that when you're in that situation, you do not have cash. You're lucky to get out alive and you are looking at survival rather than any extra expense that's going to help you thrive. That's not where you are. So these people do not have the means for your work. If this is the kind of work that you want to do where you are targeting a demographic like that, then you absolutely do that in your own time as a volunteer, but it would not work as a business. Okay, it could be a non-for-profit, and probably if you're looking at that, sure, you could create an online course, but you're going to have to deliver that for free, or maybe get the bigger agencies to pay for that, however that could look. That's not really my expertise, but that is a really, really good example of a market that does not fit within these 3 questions. So sure, you could like to work with them and you could know that you can help them, but they can't pay you. And having been in that situation, I know that firsthand. So when it comes to picking your niche, you must have a yes beside each of these 3 key questions. And if you don't, if it doesn't meet all 3, then it's a no. So if it's a no for one of the questions, then it's a no for that niche. So do you like to work with them? Can you help them? And can they pay you? If you have a yes beside all 3 of these, then it is time to move forward, move on to the next step. And actually a great next step would be my program, Create Your Dream Offer, because it helps you turn what you know into an amazing offer that connects with your ideal customer. So that would be the perfect next step for you. So I really hope that simplifies things for you. Best of luck picking your niche, and I hope to see you back on the podcast next week. Thanks, course creators and go-getters. You're incredible, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit subscribe in your podcast app so you don't miss an episode. If you'd like to find out more about what I offer, head across to loublakely.com. See you next time.